What is going on YouTube? This is Acidic Roots. This is more news-centric kind of popcorn as far as this pitch is going to happen. Basically, within the format, this is a particular one about like the ICE raids that have been going on in Los Angeles and some of those riots and protests that have been happening in recent times as far as those appeals going to happen. It's been around on the news circuit like the early June formats as far as those affairs going to happen. Now, Trollface, my roommate Trollface wanted me to particularly do this one. He probably would have been a lot more of an asshole had he particularly done this one. So I'll do this one here within the pitch, but basically the format of it is just paying attention to the pitch as far as saying that the ICE raids are particularly taking immigrants back, basically removing immigrants from the country even if they had legal status, and those type of pitches behind it. Just within the pitch behind it, the government allows these folks to be deported, and just the pitch behind it, if some of these folks have particular prior convictions, some of those type formats within the pitch, that there is a possibility that that can happen. Just particularly folks, just even minor offenses, misdemeanors, find some of those type pitches within the format. I was looking around on that particular type format within the pitch, but there's really been an immigrant kind of crackdown as far as those formats can happen. I look in the pitch. I think the extremity as to how this particular affair has been happening is something to kind of just say within the pitch as far as like, this probably is just the subject to some degree of just like topic matter within the pitch. I'm sure the Daily Show or just news centric type things to talk about this just within the format. I'm sure this is, within the news format, but it's in my 2 cents of opinion within some of these type pitches, I would definitely say somewhere out there, there's probably folks that are making deals with other countries for immigrants' help. You would kind of look after like that. There's probably folks that are probably trying to welcome in immigrants, saying, "Hey, we need more chairs to be made. We need more like recliners." Some of those type pitches within the formats. I definitely feel like within the pitch, I don't know why folks can't treat immigrants like hammers and screwdrivers, saying, "Hey, we need like 16 more hammers for this particular occasion. Let's order some of these." Just from the pitch, as far as talking about that format, we need 12 more screwdrivers. We need like 25 more crowbars. You get the pitch as far as saying not to have immigrants be seen within that format, but that's a format that you could look after within the pitch as far as saying paying attention. The folks that get behind these aspects, I do feel like some of these folks were employed and had the concept, despite being arrested for something minor like not you know parking in a spot that probably shouldn't have been parked in. Some of those type of pitches just in the format are just some particular fine within those types of appeals that just feels like the concept behind this has a larger ordeal than what the pitch was being paid attention. Yeah, I definitely think we should be making deals with other countries to get some of these immigrants help. Some of those type pitches just saying, yeah, we need a few of these folks within those formats. Just basically saying, just flat out and bluntly, you're welcome here. Basically telling these people flat out and bluntly right when they get the reward of legal status that say you're welcome here. Now go work at the DMV or customer service. I'd say a good pitch just like that. We mean it. As far as those fairs are going to happen, we hate them too. Same with the pitch. I mean, you'd think having this particular aspect of just disdain for these particular assortments of folks, you'd think, well, why not throw some of these folks in just like a hated job anyways? When you think of like a DMV not being that popular, how much flack that particular place kind of gets, the usual turmoil, customer service, and most that forms. It's not to say, it's not trying to imply like any sort of like jokes in terms of like ethnicity or pitches like that. This kind of format as far as saying, it's kind of the pitch. It just feels like it's just more within the format of saying that you have to earn your keep around here. And it's just kind of saying, when you think of like a job for folks that have to earn their keep, where would you probably throw some folks that need to earn their keep and kind of prove their weight as far as the aspect of earning stripes and those type pitches? You say, yeah, go work at a hated job, go work at the DMV, go work at go work at the DMV, go work at like a hated job like customer service where you get pissed off and want to pull out your hair all day, places where you have to deal with crap customers and just overall the bull crap of that particular fair. There's places that people standardly hate, some of those type of fairs within the pitches. Go work at like a zoo and clean up rhinoceros crap, some of those type pitches within the format, just standard type fair within the aspect. Just the format, I also pay attention to the pitch as far as saying that some of the traffic behind what goes along here as far as saying, it says basically in like the brochure about it says basically be aware of people with legal status and prior convictions. You may be a target if your conviction happened many years ago, you didn't serve time in jail or only paid a fine, your case was a minor or misdemeanor, and just pitches like that. Even if you've been a legal resident for a long time and everyone else is like a member, legal citizen, you basically have to say basically what the concept of the flat outness of is just go get a parking ticket back in the homeland as far as this pitch can happen. We don't want you getting parking tickets here within the pitch behind as far as those fares. Kind of flat out and blunt just from the pitch, but that's the format of what's particularly being going along with that. It seems kind of like within the format of it is that community service is only for our hated, our natural bound hated as far as those pitch can happen. It's just from the pitch as far as saying, you would think, I mean, it just seems that within the department, when you pay attention to community service, seems like there probably would be more of a necessity for it. You would think within some of those type of formats, having more folks to be able to do some of that. I just think within the pitch, you probably shouldn't turn down free labor within some of those type of formats as far as the fair is going to happen. It seems like there's like a lack of jobs going on within the marketing as far as those appeals going to happen. Just the pitch of this, when folks talk about, oh, there's not enough people for such and so type jobs within the pitch, it's an easy type format that, it's like they say, three heads are better than two, that particular fair, just within the aspect of just talking about how that, that particular numbers lingo, some of those old sayings and the pitch behind it. But just, yeah, shouldn't turn free labor, just kind of the business asset behind it. I think there's probably worse things getting a parking ticket and having to be deported just because of a $15, $35 fine, some of those type fares. Yeah, I definitely feel like we should be ordering people from other countries like Amazon, I'd have to say here, just to probably get rid of the unemployment ratio as far as what's first going to happen. Now, it's not, me being blunt like this, not to say within the format as far as just treating folks like it's some sort of like 1800s kind of ordering people like the actual product of chains and just things like that. But it's just within pitch as far as saying, it's kind of pitch as far as saying, we need like 30 Denmark folks just within pitch as far as saying go do this particular fair. I think this the product is having some of this particular type of fair just between things like I said, like community service, unemployment, working at places that people hate, like customer service, some of those particular type formats. I think the aspect behind it would probably be more balanced out had that particular fair can happen. But it's just extra food for thought.